feel the rhythm of the breeze. Hand on the bark, feel the rhythm of the trees. Hand in the sea, feel the rhythm of the tide. Hand on your heart, feel the rhythm inside. Ladies and gentlemen, namaskar. On behalf of the Consulate General of India in Sydney, I am Preeti Thadani, welcoming you to Rhythm, a vibrant cultural evening of music and fashion. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet here today. I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be enchanted and mesmerized with an array of breathtaking performances. Over canapes and drinks, you've enjoyed the electrifying and rhythmic drum beats played by the dhol artists of Shiv Garjana Dhol Tasha Group, coordinated by Mr. Chandrakant Jagdale. The dhol is a traditional percussion used in social occasions. Can we please have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the Shiv Garjana Dhol Tasha Group. We will now have the traditional lighting of the lamp, and I'd like to welcome on stage Consul General of India, Mr. Manish Gupta and Mrs. Nimisha Gupta, Mrs. Jodi McKay, former leader of the opposition in New South Wales, Dr. G.K. Harinath, chairperson of Multicultural New South Wales, and Mrs. Harinath, Mrs. Lisa Havilla, Chief Executive Officer, Powerhouse Museum, Councillor Samir Pandey, Deputy Lord Mayor, Parramatta City Council, and Councillor Barbara Ward, Deputy Mayor, Karingai Council. May I also please request Mr. Matthew Connell from the Powerhouse Museum? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Consul General Mr. Manish Gupta is a career diplomat and a member of the Indian Foreign Services since 1998. His career spans over 20 years, and he's held various positions in New Delhi and internationally, with extensive experience in dealing with multilateral issues. Mr. Gupta has served as Consul General of India in Istanbul, Turkey, and Permanent Mission of India to the United Nations. His affable personality and diplomacy has made him one of the most endearing Consul Generals of Sydney has ever seen. Please join me in welcoming the one and only Consul General of India, Mr. Manish Gupta.
Good evening, everyone. Namaskar. It gives me great pleasure on behalf of the Consulate and Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center of the Consulate to welcome you to today's cultural evening. It's a wonderful occasion. Also for us, because in this year, or perhaps if I say in the last 2 years, we are sitting together in such a large setting. We have entitled this cultural evening, Rhythm. It's an evening dedicated to culture and fashion. It's about portraying the beautiful cultural kaleidoscope of India and also the evolving heritage of Indian-Australian community. Before I go further, I would like to acknowledge the gracious presence of Ms. Jodi Mackay, Honorable former Leader of Opposition, Dr. G.K. Harinath, Mrs. Harinath, a great friend of the community, Ms. Lisa Havilla, Powerhouse Museum CEO, and her entire team over here, our Deputy Mayor from Parramatta and Ku-ring-gai councils, councillors from Strathfield, Parramatta, Ryde, Camden, City of Sydney, as well as the Randwick Council who are here. My councillor colleagues are here in this room, and of course, the people from business, media, arts and culture, to people from distinguished walks of life. Presence of all of you just attest to one thing, our love to arts and culture. Arts and culture is one thing that binds humanity. It brings all of us together because we believe music, art, culture, it has no boundaries. In India, we are a land of incredible diversity. In fact, the diversity, our interaction over several millennia with diverse streams of thought has shaped India. And this is reflected in what we do and in our daily lives. In India, we say unity in diversity. It's not a mere word for us because this is part of our civilizational ethos. It's a metaphor that guides us in every aspect as we move forward. In Australia, we are really fortunate, especially the entire Indian-Australian community over here, because this is one country where multiculturalism is loved and respected. It's actively promoted and nurtured by the state, and that has given us such a beautiful ground. Only earlier this week, our Prime Ministers of Australia and Honorable Prime Minister of India, they had the virtual summit. And one of the big deliverables we were talking about, the people-to-people ties. That was the specific area of focus. Our endeavor today, as we have put up this cultural program, is to showcase this beautiful diversity. And this will be culminating with a fashion show entitled Dharohar, signifying the unifying thread that binds all of us together. Before I end, I would really like to applaud the commitment of all the artists who have worked tirelessly and conceptualized this program in a very short span of time. Thank you very much, and I'm confident all of you are going to have a beautiful, mesmerizing evening today. Thank you.
Thank you, Consul General. I'd now like to invite Ms. Lisa Havilla, CEO of the Powerhouse Museum. Ms. Havilla commenced in January 2019. From 2012 to 2019, Ms. Havilla was the director of Carriageworks, and we all know what a magnificent endeavor that's been. Under her leadership, Carriageworks has experienced extraordinary audience, artistic, and commercial growth, becoming the fastest growing cultural precinct in Australia. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Ms. Lisa Havilla to the stage. Welcome.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Powerhouse Museum. We're so thrilled to have you here tonight. I'd like to acknowledge that we are all here together on Gadigal land, and I thank elders past and present for allowing that. We are so delighted to be hosting Rhythm this evening, which coincides with the celebration of Nauru's 2022 at the Powerhouse Museum, and also the Holi celebration, which signifies the arrival of spring. I would also like to extend a special welcome to Jodie McKay, Dr. Haranath, and Mrs. Haranath, who are great friends of the Powerhouse Museum, and our wonderful host, Consul General of India, Mr. Manish Gupta and Mrs. Nimish Gupta, Mr. Ramadan Gaj, Director of Swami Vivekananda Cultural Centre of the Consulate General of India, Sydney, and everyone here in the room with us tonight. As was just mentioned, the summit between our two Prime Ministers happened where both leaders acknowledged the strong people-to-people links between India and Australia. And those links happen through arts, culture and collaboration. The Powerhouse is very proud to play a strong part in this relationship as we are caretakers of over 4,000 Indian artefacts in the museum's collection, a collection we would like to continue to grow. We are very much looking forward to working with the Consulate General of India in Sydney to establish new collaborations and partnerships with Indian museums and engaging with Indian Australian communities as we work towards opening the new museum, Powerhouse Parramatta, which will be our new flagship. I'm delighted to share that we are in the process of developing an exhibition on Indian textiles which we'll present mid this year at the Powerhouse Museum to celebrate the 75th anniversary of Indian independence. We're very much looking forward to welcoming you back for that event. Thank you for coming and please enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Ms. Havilla. Our next performance is Maitri. This is a joint composition which has been conceptualized by Mr. Aman Pal in association with the Indian percussionists based in Sydney and the amazingly talented students of the very iconic Sydney Conservatorium. The composition is in the melodious rag Purya Dhanashri. The performance on tabla are Aman Pal. Aman is an expert tabla player and vocalist and has established himself in Sydney as a versatile performer. His subtle command in ragas, the melodic structures, their rhythmic disciplines, and his mastery on distinctive techniques of tabla is simply superb. On Mridangam, we have Subhagan Nirmalayaswaran. Subhagan has trained extensively with some of India's best teachers. He has been involved in classical arts both as a concert organizer and accompanying other artists for more than 8 years. Subhagan plays with his heart and his soul, and I know you're going to witness that tonight. He's the founder of Karpavalli, an organization that works with up-and-coming musicians by giving them a platform to perform the practice and beautiful art of Carnatic music. Next, on stage, you will see someone playing the ghatam. This gentleman is extremely talented. The ghatam, ladies and gentlemen, is a clay pot, and it is one of the most ancient percussion instruments of India. Prahlad Suresh Iyer is going to be playing the ghatam for you here tonight. Joining Aman, Subhagan, and Prahlad on stage are the highly skilled and talented senior students of the Sydney Conservatorium of Music, playing Western percussion instruments. On the multi-percussion setup, using bongos, congo, and tom-tom, is Ms. Sasika Shearer. On vibraphone, we have Ms. Rohani Dhillon. On the drum kit with stage,
I guess I've got 2 free phones. Thank you so much. If they are anybody's, you might as well collect them now, otherwise it's too late. Just while everybody's setting up, just want to take this opportunity to wish every one of you here a very happy Independence Day. Thank you so much for taking out your valuable time on a Friday to come out to this wonderful venue, this wonderful gathering. It's been a long time since we've had some of these gatherings. It's good to see so many faces all together after a very long time. Feels quite unusual, but I'm sure we'll get used to it. Thank you so much for the introduction. I'm very, very grateful. It's so kind of you. It's only our disciplines, our heritage that we have wherever we are, whether it be Australia, UK, India, wherever. So it's always a great opportunity. And I hope you enjoy this item. So आप सबकी इजाज़त के साथ, with your permission, we'll start. Thank you. Tune it down a little bit. Where are you, Deeds, at the back? We're getting a bit of feedback from the monitors, a lot of bass booming. So if we can just cut that a little bit. Yeah, a lot of boom from the tabla. That's good, thank you. Cool. Very good. Very good. गणाधीश हे गणराय बुद्धि देवता पालनहारा हे गणाधीश हे गणराय बुद्धि देवता पालनहारा हे गणाधीश हे गणराय बुद्धि देवता पालनहारा हे गणाधीश हे गणराय बुद्धि देवता पालनहारा दया करो स्वीकार करो दया करो स्वीकार करो नमन तुम्हें है गान हमारा गणाधीश हे गणराय बुद्धि देवता पालनहारा गणाधीश हे गणराय तन मन में ध्यान तुम्हारा, ओ तन मन में ज्ञान तुम्हारा, ओ तन मन में ज्ञान तुम्हारा, ओ तन मन में ज्ञान तुम्हारा, वेद स्थान में ध्यान तुम्हारा, अर्थ स्थान में ध्यान तुम्हारा, चरण स्पर्श हम नित्य करेंगे, चरण स्पर्श हम नित्य करेंगे, आशीर्वच हो सदा तुम्हारा, गणदेश हे गणराय बुद्धि देवता पालनहारा, गणदेश हे गणराय बुद्धि देवता पालनहारा, गणदेश हे गणराय बुद्धि देवता पालनहारा, गणदेश हे गणराय बुद्धि देवता पालनहारा. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well done. Big hand to all the artists as well. They've done a fabulous job. Thank you. Thank you, Sydney Conservatorium. Thank you. Thank you, Carnatic Music. Thank you. Shukriya. Shukriya.
How do I get? Rhythm. Hand on the bridge. Feel the rhythm of the train. Hand on the window. Feel the rhythm of the rain. Hand in the grass. Feel the rhythm of the breeze. Hand on the bark. Feel the rhythm of the trees. Hand in the sea. Feel the rhythm of the tide. Hand on your heart. Feel the rhythm inside. Ladies and gentlemen, namaskar. On behalf of the Consulate General of India in Sydney, I am Preeti Thadani, welcoming you to Rhythm, a vibrant cultural evening of music and fashion. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet here today. I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be enchanted and mesmerized with an array of breathtaking performances. Over canapes and drinks, you've enjoyed the electrifying and rhythmic drum beats played by the dhol artists of Shiv Garjana Dhol Tasha Group, coordinated by Mr. Chandrakant Jagdale. The dhol is a traditional percussion used in social occasions. Can we please have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the Shiv Garjana Dhol Tasha group. We will now have the traditional lighting of the lamp, and I'd like to welcome on stage Consul General of India, Mr. Manish Gupta and Mrs. Nimisha Gupta, Mrs. Jodi McKay, former leader of the opposition in New South Wales, Dr. G.K. Harinath, chairperson of Multicultural New South Wales, and Mrs. Harinath, Mrs. Lisa Havilla, Chief Executive Officer, Powerhouse Museum, Councillor Samir Pandey, Deputy Lord Mayor, Parramatta City Council, and Councillor Barbara Ward, Deputy Mayor, Ku-ring-gai Council. May I also please request Mr. Matthew Connell from the Powerhouse Museum